Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm here with my friend Bob Dylan. We're going to talk about the real threat that the Terminator poses to society today. Bob, you've seen the documentaries.
Yeah, I've seen the Terminator films. I'm a big fan of Terminator. I'm a big fan of the show, Andy, too. Week after week, I get on my computer, and I don't know how it works, but it sends your voice into my machine thing, and I hear you talk about the Terminator every single week, and it's exciting, and I'm just a big fan. All the movies and I just remember the first time I saw Terminator in 1984. I was watching Michael Biehn make sweet, beautiful love to Linda Hamilton, on screen, and I was just inspired. I wanted to write a whole album, about it, and then I didn't. But I like the movies a lot, and I'm here to talk about Terminator.
Well, Bob, I noticed that you're calling them movies. Really, they were documentaries about the truth of what actually happened in those times. Sad, sad stories. But every word of them was true, and it will happen again.
Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that you say that every word is true, because, I have a little query for you here. If you think about it, because I thought about it a lot, how can every word be true if the movies contradict each other? Here's what you got, okay? You got Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Linda Hamilton says, Judgment Day, you can be 1997. Okay, fast forward, Terminator 3, all of a sudden Judgment Day is going to be 2003? How is that? How can it be both? Judgment Day only comes but once, when the good Lord rains down fire, and brimstone.
Well, that's very simple. It was just a regular old computer error.
No, computer error. There can't be no computer error. Because first of all, it was Linda Hamilton. But computer error, what, Skynet? Skynet's the biggest computer in the world, man. Skynet's not just a computer. Skynet's every Terminator, every submarine. Skynet's the whole shebang, man.
So you're saying they can't make any mistakes?
I'm saying a supercomputer is mathematically sound to the 8th decimal point, or how I'm not a mathematician. I'm an artist. I'm a poet.
But if they're so perfect, then why would they send Marcus to do their bidding? If they were perfect, they would have known that Marcus would betray them, and they wouldn't have sent him in the first place.
No, man. See, because Marcus was part man. Marcus was all man. Marcus was part man. And Skynet didn't understand how human emotions worked. It's what I write all my most beautiful songs about. But they didn't know, Marcus was the tambourine man. They didn't know that when he met Christian Bale, that he would want to help him, and join forces,
All right, but this brings us to another point. I hear a lot of people call him Christian Bale, but wasn't his name John Connor?
Well, see, John Connor was a character, played, spoken of, but not seen in the first movie, but then played wonderfully by Edward Furlong in the second.
But played by... These were real people being filmed with the real... It's a documentary, not a Hollywood movie.
Well, no. Think about it for just a second. 1991, you got Edward Furlong plays him, and he's supposed to be 10. Okay. Then you go 2009, okay? 18 years later, you got Christian Bale playing him, and he's supposed to be, what, 33? Those numbers don't make any sense, because they're characters in a movie. It's like, and I understand it seems like it's real. It seems like it's real to me, too. Every single night, I try to go to sleep, and I want to go to that dream world where I can be Kyle Reese, where I'm the one that gets to make love, beautiful love, to Linda Hamilton, and John Connor's my son, and we fight the Terminator robots together, and we fight the future.
Bob, it's hard for me to believe, but I've watched every single one of those movies day after day after day since the day the first one came out. And I never noticed that time warp you speak of. It must have been a weapon of Skynet's to confuse our brains by switching us and jumping us back and forth through time periods. I bet they're doing it right now. What year is it?
Well, it's 2010, but you're giving me a lot to think about here. I'm thinking it's like, maybe Skynet is real. Maybe they made the movies, not as a documentary, but as a thing, so that now when people say, hey, wait a second, This is real. People say, no, it's just a movie. You know, it's like, you listen to that song the band put out, The Weight, and they say, take a load off Annie. And it's like, I don't know, all of a sudden you meet someone and you're like, hey, man, Annie, take a load off. And she's like, no, that's a song. Now you're like, hey, the Terminator's real, and they're coming, and they're going to kill me in the past. And people are like, no, that's a movie. And you're like, no.
That happens to me every day, Bob.
And I feel like people think you're crazy, but you're not crazy.
I'm not.
You're just looking at the world through your own prism, and you're making the music of the truth. You're like me, we're together in this.
We truly are. Problem is, what will we do when we really encounter the machines? How will we survive? What sets us apart from the non-believers?
Knowledge, we're prepared. We see it coming. We see it coming through our own two eyes. We see it like it's like a spiral in the sky. Like a whole. You see it, and it's like I read it, I wrote it, I read it, I know it. The whole. I know what's coming, and I know what's going, and it's all going to come together soon when the Skynet launches, when the missiles fly. There's only one place to be, and that's at Bob Dylan's house, because we'll be in my bomb shelter, and we'll be playing some tunes and smoking some joints, and we'll just be, just living life, writing songs and poetry, and taking black and white pictures and other things. And we'll be watching the Terminator 24/7 on my big screen, and we'll be learning about what to do, see? Because, and I will be John Connor. I know it now. It's the truth.
You're right. It'll be exactly like what we do now, except underground.
Underground, because underground's the only place to get away from the machines.
Yeah.
They can't come underground because the Earth's magnetic field will mess with their computer brains,
You're right, it will.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. And I've studied those movies day after day, looking for their key weaknesses. I never thought about the Earth's magnetic field and the fact that machines can't dig.
Yeah, you never see them go underground.
You never see them dig.
Never.
Not even once in the whole movies.
They don't dig.
They don't even have a shovel arm or a backhoe ass or anything.
No, where were the bulldozer Terminators? They're nowhere.
There weren't any bulldozer
they can't
Terminators.
go underground.
They can't.
Can't.
They must be allergic to it. Anyway, let's get over to your house and get in that bomb shelter now.
Let's get in the shelter.